Good day everyone. I am Ronnie Faisal Angos, and today my groupmates and I will going to discuss the basics of driving. When one is learning how to drive, there are a lot of things that need to be kept in mind. In fact, whether a beginner or a seasoned driver, it is very important to all to be really careful when behind a steering wheel. Kaya wala ta kabalo kung kano sa jud maabot or mahitabo ang disgrasya. Now, we're going to show you the list of basic rules that should be kept in mind. This list is aimed towards people who are learning to drive and fairly new at it. But along with them, it is also a reminder to all practice drivers as well because it is usually they who tend to forget the basic ground rules because of a disturbance in the road. These are the basic do's and don'ts of driving. First, get familiar with your car or vehicle. The first and foremost thing that you should do before you start driving is to get comfortable with your car. Get familiar with the basic of the car in theory before you start driving it. Learn what the clutch does. Understand the gear arrangement and learn facts such as one should never shift to a lower gear at a higher speed, and that it is always better to let the car come to a stop before you switch to reverse.
Correct your seating position. The second most important thing that an amateur driver should learn is the setting position. Even some learned drivers don't position themselves correctly, and this lack comfort and control, which increase the probability of accidents. Ensure that you sit straight with your back and buttocks cupped to the seat's design is helping to prevent back injuries. The driving seat should be set in a position where you can see all around easily and comfortably. It is usually said that the height of the seat should be such that your eyes are at half the height of windshield. Longitudinally, the set should be a position where your knees are not stretched too much when pushing the pedal all the way down. Sit upright and don't stoop forward. When you drive a car, first you need to be trying to drive a car.
Avoid distractions. Once you're in a driver's seat, be attentive. Adjust the mirrors, wear your seatbelt, and keep the rules of the road in mind. Avoid distraction while you are driving, as city roads are jam-packed with potential accident waiting to happen. Therefore, you need to keep your eyes and attention focused on the road for every single second. Two most basic rules before you start driving. Don't use mobile phone while driving. Don't drink and drive. Along these rules, new drives should especially avoid eating, turning the music to a very high volume, and indulging detailed conversation while at them. Also, pay attention to driving in your lane and not drifting in between them, which can also happen simply from the imperfection on the road, gradually adjusting your steering position. Next is adjust your seat in regards to the pedals. We cannot stress enough how important it is to get your seat positioned correctly. We're also mentioning it twice. The seat should also always be set regards to the pedals. Push the brake fully with your right foot and depress the clutch. This should be done in manners such as while depressing the pedals fully, your knees stay belt about 120 degrees.
Steering wheel position. Despite what some may suggest, there is no one correct way of holding a steering wheel. It depends on how you want to hold it in order to have maximum control over the wheel. Most researches show that the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock position is a good starting point for all new drivers. It's very important to hold your steering wheel correctly to have the best control of the steering and in turn the car. Remember to use turning signal. Understand the importance of turning signals once you are on the road. You are among many, therefore, if it's very important that you alert the vehicle around you when you are about to turn. Using signal helps save a lot of mishaps on the road. Remember to indicate before you need to turn and not as you turn, giving others around you time to react. It is always important to remember to use the turning signals you drive. This will help you to have a safer driving experience when on the road. If you recommended to bring the vehicle in so we can inspect it for you. Don't speed. The most common temptation when one is behind the steering wheel is to speed up. It is very important that you first get familiar with the car before you start driving at the maximum allowed speed limit, especially on highway.
I am Janmal Kikulano. Keep calm while driving. Don't let your mood influence the way you drive, especially if you are a novice. A drive in anger should not force you to overspeed, and a good mood doesn't mean that you have the liberty to meandering in the middle of the road. Don't overuse the horn. Horns are to alert the drivers around you, not to take out your frustration. Most of all the time, excessive usage of horns can be irritated the drivers around you and cause unnecessary trouble. An enraged driver around you might cause a lot of problem on the road. Maintain a considerable distance from the other vehicles. Today, the cars have very powerful braking systems with ABS as a standard in new cars, but despite that, one should maintain a decent distance from the vehicle that is moving in front. This gives you time to react in case everything goes wrong ahead. You might be very cautious towards the rules of the road, but that does not mean that other drivers are too. Today, the best way to drive safely is to be defensive driver rather than an aggressive driver.